Meet Leland Gregory, or as many of his students, including me, call him Doc. Doc has been a comedy writer and improvist for most of his life, and in this episode we talk all about comedy and our experiences of the people that have influenced us today. So make sure to subscribe and enjoy this episode of Convos with Aaron. Well, thank you, Doc, for...
You're welcome. Oh, are we starting?
Yeah, we'll hop into...
No.
Thank you for joining Convos with Aaron. Could you explain, first off, because I'm going to call you Doc through the interview.
Please do.
Could you explain, why
Why
people call you Doc?
Because I asked them to.
Yeah.
Because I always wanted a nickname, but no one would adhere to anything. I wanted to be called Spike, and people said, you don't look like a Spike.
Yeah.
And then I hit on Doc because I don't have a PhD. I don't have a doctorate degree. I'm not a professor. I don't have an MFA. I don't have an ED, either kind, thank gosh. And when students call me Doc, it pisses off the people that do have PhDs.
Yes, yeah.
Because I didn't work for this name. I just took it.
Yeah. I do think there's like a weird, and going through college, there is a weird sort of something attached to a doctorate degree. I think at the end of the, I don't know.
Especially if you demand to be called Dr. somebody.
Yeah.
You know, doctors are the people that cut you open. You just have a PhD,
Like English or something like that. Yeah, Doctor of English. I don't know what that means. Yeah.
Doctor of Philosophy, isn't that a PhD?
Something like that. How long have you been teaching?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've taught before, but usually like improv and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this is the longest full-time job I've ever had in my entire life. Because usually I did freelance work.
Yeah.
And so, which I just absolutely love doing freelance work, because you'd work for a couple days, then the project's over, and you don't have to see these schmucks anymore. You move on to another group of schmucks to play with.
Yeah.
But here I have to see the same people all the time.
So you're really big into comedy. We could see with all of the stuff that are on the walls, which we'll have B-roll of.
Cool.
What would you say was your first exposure to comedy?
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny.
Wow.
Love Bugs Bunny. Still some of the funniest stuff around, because there were the double entendres that he would do that the grown-ups would catch, but the kids wouldn't.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. And I learned classical music from Bugs Bunny cartoons. Because he always had classical music, and it's like, oh, I know that from Bugs Bunny. And it's like, well, that's Mozart. It's like, who? I know Bugs Bunny. I don't know. Beep. Mozart.
Yeah.
And then the Marx Brothers came up. Then Monty Python's Flying Circus in the early 70s. And they were huge for me. Yeah. It changed my whole idea of what comedy was when they came about.
Absolutely.
In the old days, it's like set up, punchline, set up, punchline. But with them, it's like set up, something else.
True.
And it's so interesting, because you would think, are they just being lazy? And I said, probably a little bit, because punchlines are the hardest things to come up with. So if you don't have to worry about it, and you just go to something else, it's a brilliant idea.
Well, what I found interesting, and I've only seen the Holy Grail, but what I found interesting of it is a lot of it is like what you said. There's some punchlines and there's some traditional jokes, but also it's the absurdity of the humor, and I think more importantly, it's like the atmosphere that they kind of build around each scene and set piece. And I think that's even more funny, because that's what life is,
Yeah, it's what I love about the Holy Grail, and I've seen it, I swear, like 50 times at least, if not more. But the environment they create looks real. Yeah. They don't. There was a movie called Year One or something like that with Jack Black, and they were supposed to be cavemen, but one of them had glasses, and that was the joke. It's like, that's not funny. It's funny to put them in the real environment and make jokes about it, because they did used to, during the plague, come around with a wheelbarrow and bring up dead people. So they did a gig on that. Yeah. But the cool thing about the Grail is that it's all a series of sketches. Yeah. Which is exactly what they were good at. Yeah. But just a high concept. So funny. And then Terry Gilliam with his cartoon, his animation that would link things together. I mean, just so thought out. I'm gonna get excited when I talk about comedy.
That's the point.
But what they did was they would write everything before they started shooting. Yeah. So they wouldn't do like a weekly thing where they'd write it and then shoot it. So they would have callbacks and jokes that they used for other things and things like that, which you wouldn't be able to do if you were doing it week by week. Yeah. And then they would be able to say, well, this is a really funny script and this one's okay, so let's put them together.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a brilliant, that's why it's English comedy, I think, is much funnier and much deeper than American comedy.
Yeah. And I remember you talking about that in class, because I did take your class.
I know.
I took 3 of your classes.
Isn't that amazing?
And
I only had to pay him $50.
That's right. That's it. So.
Satire doesn't work anymore.
No, it's
because our world is so, it's just so screwy.
Yeah.
Our world right now is a satire.
It is, yeah.
That's
Very
why
much so.
satire doesn't work, because you'll say something, people go, really?
Yeah.
It's like, no, not really.
No.
Because Jonathan Swift, back in the 1600s, wrote a document called A Modest Proposal, where he said, it was about the Irish were having a hard time and people were dying. And he said, well, what we should do is have the English take them and eat the children.
Yeah.
And people thought he was serious.
Burn them in the state, yeah.
No, just eat them. Because because there was hunger in one place and they had more kids in one. And he said, just
eat them.
Just eat the kids.
Yeah, and they didn't get that.
And they didn't get that it was a joke. Or satire wasn't a joke.
Satire, well, either way. I think what's funny about that too is nowadays, that is completely right. I didn't even think about that until just now, about how so many times I have to like audibly like say, no, I'm joking.
I'm joking, yeah.
I do have a very dry sense of humor
You
a lot
do.
of times. And so I'll do a lot of deadpanning or just something like that. And they'll be like, are you angry at me? No, I'm good. I'm joking.
I'm joking.
But at the same time, I hate when people are like, I'm just joking with you, when they're messing with me. And I'm clearly like, I know that they're messing with me. I'm just trying to bounce it back in a comedic way where I'm like, or something like that. But
people are weird. I get accused of that all the time. My girlfriend says, I don't always know when you're telling me the truth or being serious. And I said, I'm never being serious.
Yeah.
Except then.
Except then, yeah. Which makes it sound like it could not be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
It's always good to keep people off balance.
Well, also what's interesting too is there's, and this is a cliche for comedy, but there is a lot of truth in.
Oh, it's absolutely.
In a lot of, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because I think that if you're lying, you're trying to be funny, I think a lot of times that you can tell.
Yeah.
And so
I've gotten away with so much stuff.
Yeah.
Just because of who I am.
Yeah.
And I'll say honest things to people.
Yeah.
And they'll go, you're joking. It's like, yeah.
But it's the ultimate.
But I'm not.
It's the ultimate communicative superpower.
Yeah,
I guess,
it's really. I'm like Superman of what?
Of what?
Of humor.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing to have, and I've traced that back. People say, well, have you always been this way?
Yeah.
And I said, what do you mean? They said, have you always just said what you're thinking?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know another way to talk than just say. I try to be honest, but I couch it in humor.
Yeah.
Deliberately.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I wouldn't be alive now.
Yeah. No, I think that's how I've got out of things in high school. I was relatively funny, and I think which sounds like you wouldn't be funny.
You're not relatively funny.
No, but
everything's relative.
That is relative. That's absolutely true. But like in high school, I think I got away and out of so many situations just based on my humor.
Yeah.
And not taking anything seriously.
I have never been in a physical fight in my entire life because I always joke my way out of it or run like
what? Yeah,
those are my two options.
And I haven't had to do number 2, but I have had to do number 1.
You joked your way out?
Yeah. One time I was in high school.
Don't say doing number 2 and number 1. That doesn't sound right.
Well, I did have to do number 2 in high school too, but I guess that's a
whole different story.
A whole different story. I have Crohn's, so it's
so you go number 2 a lot. Yeah.
It comes with the body, I guess, or the intestinal tract. But
see, now to most people, they would go, "That's mean. Don't talk about Crohn's." It's like,
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. I just say what I think.
Yeah.
Partially because, and I've already developed an automatic filter for the most part, but also like just saying how I feel and making a joke right in the moment. It makes me so much easier because I'm not in my head all the time thinking about what I should say.
Which really, yeah,
which I think makes this easier, but also at the same time, like when I'm trying to ask questions and when I get it too structured, then I loop back into that, which I'm not good at. Like that's not who I am.
But you're actually a really good interviewer.
I appreciate that.
No, you really are.
I appreciate that.
And I'm not joking.
Dang. I'm gonna have to look back and see what you said.
See, what does he mean by that?
Yeah. So, and when you were younger,
yes,
growing up with all these influences, what was your goal? Did you have like a goal that you wanted to reach?
Yeah, I wanted to be Dick Van Dyke.
Okay, yeah.
I wanted to be Dick Van Dyke. I wanted to live in a nice little house with a woman who wore tight Toreador pants and was a dancer. And then I would go to work and and hang out with other funny people and write comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, what could be better than that?
Yeah.
It would be the perfect life. And I did that for a long time. I had that for a long time. And now I work here. Joke's on me. But that was my goal.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. I always wanted to be in comedy somehow.
Yeah.
And I've done like stand-up and plays and videos. I used to do a lot of acting work.
Yeah.
Always as the, strange character.
That's funny.
But I just love comedy. It's part of it's part of who I am, I think. I was at an improv class. I used to do a lot of improv. And the director said, "Now don't make jokes about this scene. Let's talk about this scene and do it seriously." And I can't.
Yeah.
And I started making jokes, and one of the other students said, "Hey, how come he can get jokes?" He goes, "That's just who he is. That's who I am." And I know where it comes from is because my father was in the military. He was an Air Force colonel, so he was a lifer. He was there for 25 years.
Wow.
And we would move every 6 months or every year.
Yeah.
And never at the beginning of a semester.
Yeah.
It was usually in the middle of the semester.
Which is worse, yeah.
It was horrible because everyone's all clicked off.
Yeah.
And I realized that people will accept the funny new kid more than the depressed new kid.
Yes.
So
yeah,
that's how it is. I don't want to say
learn.
it's armor or defense or any of that, cliche.
Yeah, yeah.
It probably is though.
But it's more of just like a way to communicate.
Yeah.
In a way that makes you feel a little bit more fit in. I can imagine.
It ingratiates you to people. They go, "Oh, he's funny. I mean, he can sit at the table."
Yeah.
But usually in high school, I sat at like the dork table, like where they play chess and.
Yeah.
Because they accepted anybody.
Anybody, yeah. They just find somebody to like play with. I guess.
Yeah, just anybody, a warm body that comes over and plays chess.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's true though. That's how it happened.
I don't think we had any chess players at lunch when I was
you went to a tough school.
We went to a tough school, but they did have a lot of food though, so I don't know.
That's how you got Crohn's.
That's how I got Crohn's was the amount of spicy chicken sandwiches they continue to have. But there was no chess in the lunchroom. But I did one time see a guy bring an acoustic guitar in.
Oh, that's the worst kind of person.
Absolutely.
That's how conversations work. But I always hated being at a party and some douchebag brings in a guitar. It's like, oh, no, not you.
With flowing blonde hair.
Yeah, exactly.
And a six-pack.
And all the girls are like, oh.
How does he have such a thin shirt? That's what you say. And you can see every ab.
Here's off the subject. My dad died about 6 years ago at our house. And I decided to stay with a hospice person and clean my dad's body when he was dead. Wow. It was crazy because they would flip him over and his arm would just drop. And it's like, wow, that really dropped hard. And I thought, that's because he's dead.
Yeah. Wow, dang.
Yeah.
I went on a ride.
It wasn't funny at the time.
No, I can imagine. But now I guess it's the only thing you can do is laugh.
You got to.
I'm sorry too if you didn't expect this from a weird conversation.
I never expect anything from you.
Well,
no, I mean, I didn't know it would go that way.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate.
Thought you would ask boring questions like, "When were you born?"
When were you born?
October 19th, 1960.
1960.
Which is great because now I always know how old I am because it ends with a 0.
Yeah.
So I can do the math real quickly.
I think you have conversations like that on podcasts all the time now too, which I think driving to work, like I said, is so much easier to listen to than like political commentary and like talk radio now. Even than Howard Stern, like
he's going off the air, I think now, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
He's been on forever, so
I think Conan is starting to kind of take over.
Oh, Conan's got a podcast.
I think he has a series. Yeah,
he's very, very funny.
Conan. I'll say this: Conan is probably my favorite talk show host.
Oh, cool!
Because he was able to be multi-purpose in that he could go do remotes that were equally as funny as his studio segments,
right? Which
were equally as wild and funny as unheard of usually. I think it kind of he took what David Letterman had and kind of heightened it to like an absurd level.
It took what Ernie Kovacs had too, and borrowed that kind of obscure, surreal, almost surrealist humor.
Yeah.
But Conan's like the writer's writer. He's
Yeah.
supposed to be amazing to work with.
Yeah, and I would love to have him on too one day. That
That would be great.
That would be crazy. I think I grew up too, and how I got through middle school and how I got into anything like this, how I'm here right now, is because of him.
Your parents.
My parents too.
That's
yes, that was the essential part. But that being said, I feel like what got me through all of the years of like teenage angst and everything like that was comedy.
Yeah.
It was specifically, like Conan. Craig Ferguson.
Yeah, he's great.
I love Craig Ferguson, and he's very charming too. Johnny Carson. Like I said,
beyond brilliant.
Did I say David Letterman already? I might have said David Letterman.
You said it in another iteration. Yeah.
But yes, those, and then also Don Rickles, and I
can't believe you know who Don Rickles is.
I still will watch the same like clips of his roasts and guest appearances.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Like I love. Oh, there he is right there. How'd you get that, by the way, Lance?
Bought it.
You bought it?
Yeah.
You just have it?
I waited till he died and poured plaster on his face.
You said that was my moment.
That was my time.
Yeah. What was interesting about him specifically is I remember watching a clip of, I forgot who it was, but it was a kid in Mrs. Doubtfire who played his son.
Yeah.
And he talked about how he went into his trailer one day because he was a very loving, thoughtful, very charismatic person on set.
Mm-hmm.
And he went into his trailer and he found Robin Williams in like just like horrible. And the kid said that Robin Williams said that, the doctors told me that I would be fine that I'm off since I've been off cocaine for so long. But you know what? It effed up my brain still.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Do you deal with those moments of very dark headspaces in comedy?
No, I deal with them all the time.
Yeah. How do you?
I would consider myself a fairly depressed person.
How do you navigate that?
Just by making jokes about it.
Yeah. That's the only thing you can do.
It's the only thing you can do. See, I love Jonathan Winters. Jonathan Winters was the first improv comic who made it as improv.
Yeah.
Brilliant guy, and one of Robin Williams' heroes. And then Robin Williams came out, and I bought his album, Reality, What a Concept.
Yeah.
I bought an album.
Yeah.
And it changed my life because his style of comedy was so frenetic and so brilliant and very smart. It wasn't stupid comedy.
Yeah.
But it's so cool because he was doing Mork and Mindy when that album came out, and it's nothing like Mork and Mindy.
No.
And someone yells out, "Do Mork and Mindy?" He goes, "No, I'm doing this so I can do that." You know. But Jonathan Winters was. In fact, Robin Williams got Jonathan Winters to be on Mork and Mindy.
Okay.
But Jonathan Winters was, 30, 40 years older than Robin Williams.
Yeah.
So they thought it would be funny if he played his son.
Okay.
And he came out of this huge egg as a full-grown man, but he was still Robin Williams' son.
That's funny.
Mork's son. And I mean, I can't imagine those two together.
Yeah.
Jonathan Winters actually had some mental problems. But just brilliant comic, but improv comic, and that's really difficult.
Yeah,
to be an improv comic.
How do you get your energy for that?
Drugs.
That's one way to do it.
It's really difficult because I did stand-up comedy, but I thought I would do something called stand-up improv, where you get up in front of a microphone and don't have any idea what you're going to say.
Okay.
And it's terrifying.
I can imagine.
And sometimes it's brilliant and hilarious, and most of the times I get told to get off stage,
It's brutal. I told my mom.
And I told somebody that, they said, no, you always got to have a skeleton. You always have to have where to go. You can't just walk up there and talk. And I went, oh.
Oh. Well, I mean, to each their own, I guess.
Well, they said that about Robin Williams. He knows where he's going.
Yeah.
And that he fills in the blanks as he goes.
Which is brilliant. Which is even harder to do.
It's even, because if you don't, you won't go anywhere, and then you'll start staring in the lights, and people will boo you off stage.
Yeah, and especially when you have like a 500-seat theater.
You don't want to get booed off stage.
Suck. Yeah, you come up. So I'm trying some new material in a theater.
No one likes to hear that from a band.
No.
We're not going to play our oldies. We're going to play some new stuff. It's like, no, you're not.
That's horrible. Yeah. I told my mom I'm thinking about maybe doing some stand-up comedy.
You should.
And I think I would like it. I think I have the confidence to be okay with it when bomb dramatically, or not dramatically, very uneventfully.
No, it can be traumatic.
Traumatically, or it could be all those things.
It could
maybe,
be all of those things,
depending on
yeah.
the person. I want to do it because I just feel like I can see the energy that people get from that,
Yeah,
and the thrill that
it's
they
exciting.
get from that. Yeah,
I did a lot of stand-up comedy.
yeah,
It's really, I mean, it's just you
yeah, yeah. Up there.
up there and with a microphone and
Yeah.
people that are going, make me laugh.
Lovely. Which is the worst thing
Yeah.
ever, because and like I feel like I was fairly funny-ish in high school. Like I said, I had this girl that I really, really liked one time.
Yeah.
She was a couple years older than me, and she turned around one time and she said, "Aaron, you're kind of funny. Be funny. Say something funny."
Say something funny.
That is the
You can't. That's the meanest thing you
That's
can
horrible.
say. Yeah.
And I
I
said,
had that exact same situation dozens of times. In
Yeah.
fact, I was like in freshman orientation when I went to school here, and I wrote like this question, like, will I ever be a comic?
Yeah.
And he had me stand up and go, say something funny. It's like, oh my God, right in the middle of
It's horrible.
a horror. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't say. I didn't either.
I
said,
didn't, yeah, how can you?
I said that's not how that works.
It's not-
That's what I said.
Everything I say is a joke.
Which isn't a bad thing, I don't think.
No.
I think people, it's unfair when people say, be serious.
Yeah.
Because there's very few instances where I feel like that's actually worth it.
It's not, why would you
Yeah.
ever want to be that way?
No, yeah.
There's so many people that are always serious.
Yeah.
I've met people that have zero sense of humor.
Well, and I think more importantly, sometimes they don't smile and they have like a very stern face. And I think I almost feel bad because I'm like, man, you don't smile ever? Like,
Yeah.
I've seen people who have never smiled
I know,
before.
man. It's like not having legs.
It's
You know what
kinda
I mean?
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
like, why are you alive?
I don't know. Maybe it's all the funniness is inside their head. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. Some people I think just aren't. I'm not good with numbers.
Yeah,
Some people are, and they're usually not funny.
yeah, yeah. We guess we need both. Then
Yeah,
now
we
that I
know
think about
both.
it.
Yeah. You can't expect an accountant to be wacky.
Although that would be a crazy
It would be a
combination.
good character. wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
and then they just lie about your
The
financials.
funny.
Yeah.
7 + 3 is 19.
Yeah. They steal
Wait,
money.
see, we
yeah.
know. What was your favorite number?
47.
47. No,
Yeah.
mine was 47. Yours was 40 something.
Was it 43?
43.
It might be 43.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I get them mixed up. All my favorite numbers sometimes.
Which is an odd question. What's
Yeah,
your favorite number?
I guess it'll throw people off.
Yeah, because
And-
they go, I don't have a favorite number. It's like, yeah, you do.
And I think
It pops up and you go, well, I like that number.
yeah. And it's people attach meaning to it. You
Yeah,
just gotta say it.
it's just got to say it.
And I ask my guests this all the time, and it's the corniest, cheesiest question. But what would you say is your purpose?
To make people laugh.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds pompous, but I love to make people laugh.
Yeah.
Because it makes me laugh and it makes me forget all that made me be a comic
Yeah.
or be funny.
Yeah.
And it's usually terrible. And
Yeah.
mine was moving all around, moving
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that was my armor or whatever
Yeah.
thing you want to ascribe to that.
Yeah.
And some people are just born funny.
Yeah.
I think people are just cut out to be humorous. Like Richard Pryor, greatest stand-up comic ever.
Yeah.
George Carlin, greatest writing stand-up comic ever.
And thinker too.
Yeah, he's a very deep thinker, but his stuff is meticulously scripted.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor told stories about his past.
Yeah.
Very natural, very funny, just brilliant, brilliant comic. So if you asked me, which you didn't, I'm just volunteering.
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
Rich Pryor, the funniest stand-up comic ever.
Yeah.
George Carlin next.
Yeah.
Then maybe Lenny Bruce.
Yeah.
Lenny Bruce, because he broke a bunch of barriers, not because his stuff is still really hilarious these days,
Yeah.
because so much time has passed.
Yeah.
But
I think you hear a lot of comedians really harp on that too when they're talking about the history of comedy. They're talking about how you have to put it into context of where they were at
Right,
the time,
yeah.
because that's what formed them
Yeah.
and their comedy.
well, it was Lenny Bruce helped create George Carlin.
Yeah.
In fact, they knew each other. George Carlin would go to Lenny Bruce shows
Yeah.
and listen to him
Wow.
do his spiel
Yeah.
because it was smart, socially relevant,
Yeah.
politically astute comedy. It wasn't just some dumb joke about his mother-in-law. And a lot of people just like that kind of comedy.
Yeah. I think I like it too because I don't necessarily just want to laugh when I'm listening
Yeah, I
to
like
something.
yeah, you need
Yeah.
to make me think.
Yeah, it's true. And but it makes it even more funny when you think
Yeah.
through it because then your brain gets it in a way that like a fart joke just, and sometimes fart
Fart
jokes
jokes are
are
funny.
funny. Yes,
Yeah.
they're very funny sometimes. But I think
Farts in general are funny.
it's just such an odd concept
Yeah.
to think of that.
Well, it takes the humanity. It's like you're just a person.
Yes.
You fart.
Absolutely.
That's why it's funny.
But I interned at the I say it again, interned at the Southern Baptist Convention, and
Really?
we just got out of COVID, and I had been in my room for like a semester. Didn't talk to anybody. Horrible decision. Didn't talk to anybody. And I was starting to learn how to talk again.
Oh, wow. That's a cool idea.
And it was, but I interned. So I went from doing nothing essentially.
To go to the Southern Baptist.
Southern Baptist Convention with 20,000 people.
You were asking for it.
I was. And that being said, we were at the table eating, and all these guys who are in higher positions in this thing, mind you, means nothing to me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's to a person, if you grab them out the street saying, "Hey, who is this guy?" Wouldn't know.
Not impressed.
Not impressed. But everybody else was all kind of like
yeah.
that. This is a lot of build up to say what I'm gonna say, which is very.
It's just gonna be a fart joke. No, it's not. Don't say.
So we're at this table, and they're all talking about like the most generic stuff, that most non-personal stuff. They're great people, but just like,
they're too
oh my
analytical.
gosh, yeah. And they said, one of the girls said, you know what, cheese just tastes good on everything. And I said right out of the bat, not a cow turd. And it was
That didn't
silence.
go over well.
It was
yeah.
silence. Everybody's like, and to this day,
they're trying to figure out what the hell. Why did you say?
why did I say
like
that?
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, I introduced some chaos into that table
That's
for just
great.
a little bit.
God bless you.
And yeah, at the time I was freaking out because I was like, what the heck?
What did I say?
What is this counter?
What I said was true, but weird.
Yeah, but I don't think those.
And
kind
you're
of people,
wrong. It tastes great.
Oh, really?
Depends on if it's a really strong
It's a delicacy
cheese
in some countries. Sorry, no, it's
in the South.
in the South. Well, like, what type of South are we talking?
Yeah,
about?
deep South.
Deep South. Crawdad.
Crawdad.
Gumbo.
And gonna poop with cheese.
Cow patty gumbo.
See, patty, like a patty sandwich. See, there it is.
But that being said, there's people like that out there that would never think to say something like that.
No.
And I think it makes me feel weird sometimes, but at the same time, I love it because
I think it's great. Well, it's obvious that God has a sense of humor because look around.
Yeah, and the one thing he said not to do, I guess we did. So that's kind of we're just counterintuitive people, but
everything. Yeah, I mean, why can't religion be funny? Why can't death be funny?
Yeah.
So this has been awesome.
Well, and thank you, Doc. For,
it's probably time to go.
Thank you for coming on.
This is one of the most inspiring, funny things I've done in years.
Really?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Because you're very smart, you're very funny, you're knowledgeable, and you don't get insulted easy.
I don't. No.
No.
I don't. I not when people criticize like my work and stuff. I don't.
Yeah.
Because it's not. I don't like attach myself to it. It's
it's
not
my work. It's not me.
Yeah, and it's always going to have problems.
Honestly, our conversation has been great.
Thank you. I believe so too. I think it's been one of my favorites because.
Ha ha.
That's right. I think out of 17 people, what's funny is they're all different, and that's intentional. You're coming after a sports broadcaster. Yeah. I think what's cool about this is I want to show people that you can find creativity and humor and just discussion with everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
And
everyone's interesting to a certain degree.
Well, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure, man.
I appreciate it, and thank you for adding variety to every conversation that we have.
Boy, you're an awesome dude.
I appreciate you. You are an awesome man too. Thank you. Thank you.
Love you, man.
Love you too, man. So that being said, you can follow us, subscribe, like everything in order to keep updated on our weekly episodes. We're trying to do weekly for as long as I possibly can. That being said, also, if you're wanting to be a guest or you know somebody who'd be great as a guest, you can email us at convoswithaaron@gmail.com, and we would love to have you on. So thank you and goodbye.
And don't tell my girlfriend anything.
Gorgelicious. Okay.